Okay, this is a 2008 PAT, numbers 24 and 25. It'd be a very important idea to pause it and take a careful look at all the answers. I'm just going to leave that up here for you. Okay, I'm going to assume you pushed pause and I'll say welcome back. Okay, so when you have a big long question like this, you want to have a quick peek and see what you're going to be asked in the first place. Okay, so this one is something to do with a manipulated variable, and this is what are the conclusions of the experiment. Okay, so now let's read the information. So we have a controlled experiment happening here. You're adding fertilizer to 3 seedlings. Your little baby plants, your seedlings, have similar root growth and tree leaves, right? It's not like one's a superhuman adult Groot, okay, and the other one's a small, tiny little baby Groot, okay, and none of them have flowers yet, right? So they're all at the same stage of development, okay? At the end of a 2-month growth period, the following observations are made, okay? So based on these different brands of fertilizer, W, X, and Y, and depending on how much NPK they have, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, you're going to get different numbers of flowers, length of roots, and number of leaves, because different components of the fertilizer have different jobs in the plant. Okay, so in this top question, the manipulated variable is the thing you change. Okay, so in an experiment, you always have things that you keep the same. You have variables that you change on purpose because you're doing an experiment. And you have a responding variable that is based on what your change was that you made. Okay, so this is what you change. This is the result, and these are things you keep the same so it doesn't mess up your experiment. Okay, so the things that we need to take a look at here. The overall growth of the plants. Okay, how big the plants grow is the result. That's the conclusion. So that's going to be the responding variable. The length of time that each plant grows. Okay, in the question it said that it was all a 2-month growth period. So that's going to be our controlled variable. Everybody had the same. Okay, the amount of water that the plants receive. In all these cases, it doesn't talk about the water at all, but it does say that it's a controlled experiment, so we're assuming that they're all getting the same amount of water. So that would be a controlled variable. Okay, so that's just big D. Okay, but let's also take a quick look at it. The brand of fertilizer used on each plant, that's what's being manipulated. Okay, so you're changing which brand you put on the different seedlings. Okay, so 24 is D. In 25, you need to look at the actual results in the chart. Okay, so we need to see, okay, well, what does nitrogen do? What does phosphorus do? What does potassium do? Which one affects the leaves, roots, and flowers? So the way to know this is to look at the ratios. Okay, I'll use small, medium, and large in terms of who had the most. Okay, so small, medium, large numbers. So if we look at nitrogen here in brand W, there was 7, 10, and 13. So that's the smallest number, medium, large. So let's take a look and see if there's another small, medium, large. Okay, this one goes small, medium, large numbers as our result. Okay, so nitrogen might have something to do with the number of leaves. Let's check. Okay, how about phosphorus? Middle, large, small. Middle, large, smallest number. Okay, so length of roots is going to be our phosphorus. And potassium has a large number, middle or small, middle. Large, small, middle. Okay, so our potassium is going to affect the number of flowers, phosphorus, length of roots, and number of leaves is controlled by the nitrogen. So let's see if any of our answers say that. Okay, nitrogen promotes leaf growth. Yep, okay, we just said that. Potassium promotes flower growth. Yep, we just said that. Okay, so luckily for us, it's A. But just in case, we always want to read the other answers to make sure that's not what they are. Then after this big long graph question, they give you a little bit of a break with number 26. Okay, which of the following substances can be synthesized by plants, as in photosynthesis? Okay, so we take sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, photosynthesis happens, you get glucose, which is sugar, and oxygen. Okay, have we ever learned that plants make silicon? No. Sulfur? No. Sugar? Yes. Salt? No. Okay, so this is kind of a freebie. 26C.